Oh, there's a little stringy cheesiness. That's so cool. Hey friends, and welcome back to a new video. Today I thought I'd take you guys along on a fun experiment that I planned. Some of you might know, or for those of you that don't know, my boyfriend and I like to have a vegan diet. We're not necessarily vegan since we do have meat once in a while, but I would say 90% of the time we do adopt a vegan diet. And with veganism becoming more and more popular around the world, there are a lot of companies that kind of do vegan substitutes of foods that are typically not vegan, for example cheese or meat and things like that. Normally my boyfriend and I do prefer kind of like in more non-processed whole grain, more natural kind of diets. That means not a lot of processed food, especially not those kind of vegan substitutes like vegan meats and vegan cheeses. So today I thought I'd try out some different types of vegan cheeses with you guys and share my review or my thoughts in case any of you guys are interested in what these vegan substitutes actually look like, taste like, if they are authentic or how the ingredients are. So these are the vegan cheeses I thought I would try. One is kind of a grated cheese. This is something that I want to try for dinner. I'm planning on making a vegan lasagna and I wanted to add this on top to see whether it melts nicely, how it tastes, if it's stringy, just things like that. And then here I have some vegan cheese slices. Yeah, I was just curious on whether this tastes like cheese or not. This is both from the same brand. This is pretty much the only brand I think that my grocery store carried that had vegan cheese. So this is the one I'm going to try for lunch just on some bread, maybe with some tomatoes. So something I really wanted to take a look at are the ingredients. So this one is made out of almonds. And as far as I can see, it does have some flavoring to it and some coloring. However, it says that the coloring is made out of carrots. Yeah, so not too bad, but also not super natural, but that is to expect with something that is supposed to imitate something that it isn't. So I'm going to open this up. Okay, so my first, wow, this smells really cheesy. This smells even stinkier cheesy than normal cheese. Oh, yeah, that does not smell too good. My first impression is this is pretty similar to cheese, like texture-wise, and yeah, it feels very real. It does feel a little bit more rubbery than real cheese would or is. Yeah, but it smells bad to be honest. But I really wanted to try a little bit of the cheese just on its own without on bread. To be honest, it doesn't really taste like cheese. It does have a little bit of cheese resemblance, but I wouldn't say it tastes like cheese. It tastes kind of like it smells, like a very strong goaty or cowy type of taste, but not necessarily in a good way. It does, as I said, remind me of cheese, but it doesn't necessarily taste like cheese. But I do have to give points for the consistency. It is pretty similar to cheese. To be honest, the taste isn't 100% for me because it is so strong, kind of, yeah, it is so strong. Maybe together with the bread, it will kind of neutralize itself. Yeah, so impressed with the consistency, but a little bit stinky for my taste. So I've made myself a sandwich, I guess you could call it, just with some whole grain bread on the bottom, then the cheese and some tomatoes and some pepper on top. Hopefully this will kind of reduce the stinkiness of the cheese that it has on its own. To be honest, in this combination, all I taste is the tomato, and the vegan cheese kind of gives it that creaminess. But I definitely don't taste the stinkiness anymore, but I also don't taste the cheese at all. So maybe the tomato is a bit too overpowering. I'll have to try a slice without the tomato. Okay, so now I've made myself a bread just with cheese because, as I said, the tomato was too overpowering. I'm curious to see how this will taste. The kind of stinky, I'm just gonna call it goatiness of this is does come through more without the tomatoes, but not as much as if you eat it pure, if you just purely eat the cheese. But yeah, it still gives it that creaminess. I would say I am surprised how similar this is to real cheese, the consistency especially. But I would also say that the stinkiness is really throwing me off. Even though you don't taste it as much on real bread, it is kind of like a minus point for me. And this package has 8 slices and costs €3. That means one slice is about 40 cents, a little less, which is quite a lot. I don't think I would buy this again, just because I'm not someone that misses cheese that much. I would understand this to be convenient for people who are vegan and do miss cheese a lot. This is kind of a good alternative that does taste quite a lot like cheese and is quite a lot like cheese. But for those of you that are just looking for some extra creaminess in your sandwich, I would rather recommend either hummus or maybe some avocado slices. That also makes the sandwich delicious and gives it that creaminess. So I'm going to rate this out of 5 stars, I think a 3.5 or so. That was my review for the sliced vegan cheese. So it's now dinner time and I'm currently in the process of making the lasagna. I already made the vegan bolognese. I really wanted to make like a bolognese lasagna. Yeah, I already made the bolognese and all I have to do now is to make the bechamel and then to kind of build my lasagna. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the cheese in a second. Here we have the vegan bolognese that I made. That is already pretty much done. So I'm going to continue with the other ingredients that I still have to make. So I just made the bechamel sauce and I have to say, I think this is my proudest bechamel moment. It's so smooth. Usually my bechamel sauce is always so lumpy. So I'm so happy that this turned out so great. I made this with some oat milk, flour, and olive oil, and yeah. So now that I have prepared everything, all that's left to do is to build the lasagna. So I really wanted to quickly talk about the cheese for a minute here. So I bought grated cheese to be able to melt on top of the lasagna. And it says right here that it is really good for melting. So I'm not sure how they achieve that, but let's take a look at the ingredients list. Okay, so this cheese once again is made out of almonds. Then has some coconut oil, some aroma again, and yeah, again also some food coloring out of carrot apparently. I'm curious to see how this will melt firstly, and also how this tastes, if this also has that weird stinky taste as the other cheese. So my first impression of this cheese is that it doesn't smell funky like the other one. It smells really real, like real cheese, I guess. I really want to have a taste of it, like not melted. Wow, this is really similar. It tastes a little bit like Parmesan cheese. It is definitely very nutty and cheesy in the flavor, very rich. I really like this taste of the cheese, so I'm really excited how this will be on the lasagna. Maybe it will be too overpowering since Parmesan cheese is quite heavy taste-wise, but we'll see. I'm really excited. Now for the best part of it all, cheese, lots and lots of cheese. Hopefully this will melt, because if this doesn't melt, that will be weird. Usually if we're not cooking with vegan cheese, then we just top it off with the sauce and then add a sprinkle of nutritional yeast, and that gives it a nice cheesy flavor as well. Okay, I think that is enough for the cheese. So I added a little bit of basil, frozen basil on top, and this looks so good. So this is going to go into the oven right now for about 20-30 minutes, and then it's done. I'm so excited, so hungry, and curious about the cheese. Oh my goodness, the cheese has melted. It looks like it melted a little lumpily, or not as evenly as real cheese, but it melted. I'm impressed and excited. Let's see how the rest of it melts and whether it will be crispy or not, or brown, or just, I don't know. I'm just really excited. So the lasagna is now finally out of the oven. Look how good this looks. The cheese melted so incredibly evenly. I even saw it bubble a little bit in the oven. So now I'm really excited as to how this tastes. It's probably going to be really hot. I'm going to carefully divide this and then do the taste test. Okay, so I got out the lasagna. I'm actually, to be honest, pretty proud of today's lasagna. It looks good, it didn't fall apart, and the cheese looks good, and it smells delicious. I'm going to try. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Oh, I felt like, there's a little stringy cheesiness. That's so cool. Well, the lasagna is really good. To be honest, I didn't taste any of the cheese. Yeah, so I can't really say anything about the cheese. Wait, I'll only get a little bit of the cheese on top, scrape it off. But I do feel like it's stringy. That's so cool. It tastes a little different. It does taste a little nutty cheesy, but not like normal cheese. But it is so similar. I'm so impressed. Yeah, so I'm going to enjoy the lasagna and then get back with my 5-star or star review rating. I just finished the lasagna and it was so amazing. I want to give it 5 stars, or I have to give it 5 stars. It's crazy how much it resembled real cheese. Yeah, from the consistency to the taste to how it melted, it was just perfect. 5 stars. Obviously it wasn't exactly like cheese, but it was really close. Like if the lasagna was served to me and I didn't know it was vegan, I would have thought it was just a little weird looking cheese. Yeah, so highly recommend for any vegans that wants anything that resembles cheese that can melt, like for pizza or lasagna, because there really isn't anything else that resembles it. So I hope you enjoyed this little experiment that I took you with me on today. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out and lets me know that you like this kind of thing. And if you have any other suggestions or other fun experiment ideas that you want me to do, be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I love reading your comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!